The following video was created with Gemini. Since they are talking in Spanish and English, some of the Spanish words are mispronounced. Nevertheless, in the video I write the words so you can have a better idea of what they are saying.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into Spanish reflexive verbs. You know, those verbs where the action sort of loops back onto the person doing it.
Exactly. Like the classic example, I washed myself. The subject and the object are, well, the same entity.
And visually, when you're looking at Spanish verbs, that said tacked onto the end of the infinitive is often your big clue, right?
It is, like duchash or vestirs. It suggests, hey, this might be reflexive.
Might be. And it's interesting because Spanish uses them, well, arguably more often, or at least differently than English. Think iris for to leave or acordarse, to remember.
That's a key point. It's not always a one-to-one translation for myself or yourself.
Right, and it really stands out when you contrast it with a regular verb like ella lava los platos.
She washes the dishes. Simple. The action goes out towards the dishes.
But with reflexes, it comes back. And this is crucial. You absolutely need the reflexive pronoun. Without it, the meaning can totally change.
Oh, definitely. Take bañar. That means to bathe someone else.
Like the dog or a baby.
Yeah. But bañarse, that's bathing yourself. Completely different action implied.
Okay, so let's quickly run through those pronouns because you need them. For yo, it's me.
Myself, yo me lavo, I wash myself.
For tú.
It's te, yourself. Tú te afeitas, you shave yourself.
And then for the third person, él, ella, it's always se.
Right. Himself, herself, itself, or the formal yourself. Él se despierta, he wakes himself up.
Moving to plurals, nosotros, we use nos.
Ourselves, or, interestingly, it can also mean each other.
Reciprocal actions like nosotros nos hablamos.
Exactly. We talk to each other. Same idea for vosotros with us, yourselves, or each other.
And the third person plural, ellas, ustedes, uses se again.
Mm-hmm. Themselves, or the plural formal yourselves, or, again, each other. Ellas se visten. They dress themselves.
So placement. Where do these little pronouns usually live?
Typically, right before the conjugated verb. That's the standard spot.
So the examples we used. Yo me lavo, tú te afeita, él se despierta.
Nosotros nos sentamos. We sit down. Vosotros os coméis. Yo eat up. Ellas se visten. They get dressed.
Okay.
Right before the main verb.
And making it negative is simple too, right? Just add no.
Yep, no goes right before the pronoun yo no me lavo. I don't wash myself.
Or like, no te preocupes. Don't you worry.
A classic, but okay, there's a big exception to that placement rule.
Knew there'd be one. Infinitives.
Infinitives, exactly. When you have a structure like verb plus infinitive, you often attach the pronoun to the end of that infinitive.
So instead of saying, me necesito lavar,
You'd more commonly say, necesito lavarme. You drop the se from the infinitive ending and just stick the me on.
got it. Like quiero ducharme, I want to shower myself.
Perfect. Or, vamos a casarnos, we're going to get married. The nos attaches to casar.
And this happens with common structures like a plus infinitive, tener que plus infinitive.
Deber, querer, lots of those auxiliary type setups.
Okay, and what about gerunds? The ing forms, ando, yando.
Similar deal. You can attach the pronoun to the end of the gerund, but you often need to add an accent mark to keep the stress right.
Like, estoy bañándome. I am bathing myself.
Exactly. Bañandom. Or, ellas están lavándose. They are washing themselves.
But wait, can't you also put it before a star in those cases?
You absolutely can. Me estoy bañando. Both are generally fine.
So there's some flexibility there. Me estoy bañando or estoy bañando.
Right. It stems from those verb phrases or paraphrases. The core reflexive idea is still there.
Okay, that covers placement. Now, the really interesting part, I think, is how adding that reflexive pronoun, making it lavarse instead of lavar, can completely shift the meaning.
This is where things get fun, yeah. It's not just about who's doing the washing anymore.
Take lavar, just means to wash, plain and simple. Yo lavo la ropa. I wash the clothes.
Action goes outward, but lavarse, that's specifically to wash oneself. Él se lava las manos. He washes his own hands.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How about llamar?
Llamar is to call someone on the phone or call out to them. Nosotros llamamos a nuestros amigos. We call our friends.
But llamarse.
That's to be called, as in your name. ¿Cómo te llamas? What are you called? What's your name? Totally different.
Wow, yeah, okay, poner. To put.
Ella pone las llaves en la mesa. She puts the keys on the table. Standard, put.
And ponerse.
Multiple meanings here. It can mean to put on clothing. Yo me pongo un abrigo. I put on a coat.
Okay.
Or it can mean to become or to get in terms of state or mood. Se pone triste, he becomes sad.
So it's quite versatile. Let's do vestir.
Vestir can mean to dress someone else, like la madre viste al niño, the mother dresses the child, or sometimes just to wear, like ellas visten de azul and they wear blue.
And vestirse.
That's specifically to get dressed yourself. Nosotros nos vestimos rápido. We get dressed quickly.
Makes sense. One more.
Despertar.
To wake someone else up. El ruido despertó al bebé. The noise woke the baby.
Versus despertarse.
To wake yourself up. Yo me despierto temprano. I wake up early. It's amazing how that little say can create almost a whole new verb meaning sometimes.
It really highlights how the language encodes that self-directed action, even for everyday things like waking up or getting dressed.
So quick wrap up. Reflexive verbs bounce the action back to the subject. Look for that se on infinitives. And always use the right reflexive pronoun. Me, te, se, nos, os, se.
Pronoun usually goes before the conjugated verb.
Unless you attach it to an infinitive or a gerund.
Right. And definitely pay attention to those meaning shifts between the non-reflexive and reflexive forms. It's pretty fundamental for speaking Spanish well.
Absolutely. So here's something to chew on. Think about how this frequent use of reflexive structures in Spanish, compared to English, might subtly shape how speakers view actions related to the self. Does it imply a different perspective on personal agency or responsibility? Something to consider.
Interesting point.
Join us next time for another deep dive.